Hello everyone. Today we learn about Rayleigh's law. Without wasting any time, let's begin. To explain the blackbody radiation curve from Rayleigh's law, consider a large cubic cavity of length. The length of the cavity should be greater than the maximum wavelength of the radiations so that radiation of all wavelength will be confined between the wall of cavity. In the Rayleigh's law, it has been considered that radiation from standing wave inside the cavity. The wall of the cavity should be such that it can confine the standing wave of the radiations inside. This requires non-zero conductive walls. If conductivity is 0, then the wall will be transparent to radiations. Hence, the conductivity of the walls are non-zero. So, the electric field at the wall will be 0. This is boundary condition. Rayleigh's law is based on how many modes of electromagnetic radiations are present in the cavity and on an average. Much energy is there in the corresponding to each mode. So let's first calculate how many modes of radiation are in the cavity. In order to calculate how many modes of the standing wave will be possible, first we will consider those standing wave which are present in x directions. To be standing wave between two walls of the cavity, it is necessary to have node point on the both walls. In such a situation, if we assume that the wavelength of standing wave from the x direction is lambda x, then the longest wave possible between the two walls will be lambda x by 2. Similarly, the next possible wave will be 2 lambda x by 2. In general, the length of wave in x direction will be nx lambda x by 2. In the same way, the length of the wave corresponding to y and z directions will be ny lambda by y by 2 and nz lambda z by 2. Here nx, ny and nz represent the possible number of mode in all three directions. These are those waves which are in x, y, z directions. There will be some more waves in arbitrary directions. Let alpha, beta and gamma are the angles that wave drawn on the x, y and z respectively. To understand this, let's take an example of wave having modes. Nx equals to 3 and ny equals to 2. The line joining of the node point in these two waves. Project the wave of the wave in arbitrary directions. Let's assume that wavelength is lambda, so the projection of lambda x on the lambda will be lambda x cos alpha. As we know that cos alpha can have the maximum value plus 1, so lambda would be equal or less than lambda x. In the same way, and the y and z component of the arbitrary wave, lambda by cos beta and lambda by cos gamma. Now if we put the value of lambda x, lambda y and lambda z in the equation of number of modes, then will we get generalized equation of nx, ny and nz. Let's square all these three equation and sum up. Then nx square plus ny square plus nz square is equal to 2a by lambda. Cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma. As we know from Pythagorean theorem that cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma equal 1. So an x square plus ny square plus nz square will be equals to square of 2a by lambda. Now if we replace the wavelength with the frequency nu, then the will be equal to square 2a nu by a. After rearranging this equation to frequency, nu is equal to c upon 2a under root nx square plus ny square plus nz square. nz square nz square. Now all possible modes were represented by lines in the Cartesian coordinate system. If we consider coordinate system made of nx, ny and nz, then the mode will be represented by the dot. Because each x is the coordinate system, its represent number of modes in a particular direction. In this coordinate system, if we draw a sphere of the then the rho will be equal to the square root nx square plus ny square nz square, same as r, which is equal to square root of s square plus y square plus z square in the Cartesian coordinate system. So the rho will be equals to 2a nu by c. Therefore the frequency nu is equal to c rho by c. then the now calculate the number of modes. We have to calculate number of more point of the frequency nu specified volume. For that, let's draw another sphere of the radius rho plus d rho. We are willing to find out the volume of the region between both spherical shell. The surface area of inner sphere will be 4 pi rho square. Now as we have taken only 1 by 8 part of the surface area become 1 by 8 4 pi rho square. The thickness of region is d rho. So the volume of shaded region will be 4 pi rho square d rho by 8. Therefore, total number of standing wave in this shell will be 4 pi rho square by 8 d rho. As we know that each electromagnetic radiation have the equal, so the total number of mode will be 4 pi rho square by 8 d rho into 2. This denoted by n nu d nu, which represent the number of modes of the frequency nu in the frequency range d nu. Now let's find out average energy corresponding to each mode. For that, Rayleigh's law took the help equipartition of energy principle. This principle simply each degree of freedom has the same energy 1 by 2. If the system kinetic and potential both energy, then the average energy corresponding to each mode will be kT. The total energy corresponding to number of mode the frequency range d nu will be 8 pi cube nu square kT by c cube into d nu. To calculate the energy density in the cavity, let's divide the energy density with the volume the cavity. So the energy density will be 8 pi nu square kT by c cube d nu. This indicate the energy density is proportional to the square of the frequency. This is called as Rayleigh's law. What is the problem with this law? As this law say that energy density is proportional to the square of the frequency, that means inversely proportional to the square of the wavelength. Now if we draw the graph according to this black body radiation curve at high wavelength, but due to the nature of square on the lower wavelength, it predicts huge amount of the radiation which does not coincide with actual curve. The prediction is non-ultraviolet catastrophe. Max Planck used his mathematics, made few changes and successfully explained this curve.